What's up, friends? Welcome to week 17 of our Heal You podcast. I'm your girl, Shai, and I'm so honored to be in this space with you again. If it's your first time, welcome. For all of my repeat subscribers, glad to see you here and focusing on you. You know, if you've been walking this journey with us, you know that last week we embraced the beauty and power of stillness. Not as an interruption, not as a delay, but as a vital part of growth. We explored the courage it takes to stop striving, to release what no longer serves, and to simply breathe, to just be. You know, it was a moment of meeting ourselves with honesty and grace, of saying, I don't have to have it all figured out to be worthy. And in that stillness, we learn that healing doesn't always require movement, friends. Sometimes healing just needs space. And now, here we are. We're at week 17. Standing in the quiet aftermath of stillness, facing something just as vulnerable, trusting the timing. Not just waiting, but believing that the space between where you are and where you want to be holds just as much purpose as the destination itself. This moment, right here, may be the breakthrough. It may be the becoming. This moment, it is the unfolding of who you're meant to be. Trusting the timing asks us to release our grip on the outcome, to silence the voice that says we're behind, and to leaning friends, fully into the belief that our journey is not delayed. It's divinely designed. Because once you've slowed down, once you've laid the burdens down, the next step, friends, is waiting. Waiting with trust, with peace, and with faith. That's it. And this week, friends, we're diving into the hard, beautiful truth that everything unfolds as it's meant to be. Not always on our timeline, but always, friends, on time. Let's get ready. It's time to continue to bloom, friends. Let's get ready. Let's face it. All right, we've all tried to control the wind. I know I'm not alone in this. Come on. We map out our lives in bullet points and deadlines. That is my brain speaking every day. Let me have the job by age 30. The healing by next month. The breakthrough by the end of the year. When life doesn't check the boxes in order, we imagine, what do? We panic. We doubt. We get frustrated with ourselves and where we are in life. But here's the truth that we all need to understand. The moment you surrender your timeline, guess what, friends? Peace makes room to enter. And in that moment, in that time, you learn so much more about your purpose and what is truly needed. In the absence of forced momentum, you begin to hear the quiet truths you once rushed past. Woo! This surrender isn't the end of your pursuit. It becomes the doorway to deeper clarity, unexpected growth, and a purpose rooted in alignment, not pressure. Control feels comforting at first for us. We know it. We do it all the time. It gives us a sense of certainty, like we're steering the wheel of our lives with precision. But you know, friends, over time, that comfort starts to weigh us down. The comfort then turns into anxiety, disguised as productivity. It becomes the relentless inner voice whispering to us, you should be further by now. Or everyone else is moving ahead without you. It pulls us out of the present, out of gratitude, and into a state of comparison and urgency. We begin to measure our worth by pace and progress instead of focusing on presence and purpose. And in that space, we lose touch with the beauty of becoming, not just arriving. Trusting the timing is choosing to believe, friends, that your journey doesn't require constant proof. It requires trust and presence. It's accepting that even when things aren't visibly moving, something sacred is still unfolding within you. You know that freedom you crave? It begins the moment you give yourself permission to stop forcing and start flowing. Trusting the timing of your life isn't about being passive. It's one of the most active forms of faith. It's choosing trust over tension. It's whispering to yourself, even if I don't understand the when yet, I believe the what is still coming. I believe that what's for me is aligning, and when it arrives, I'll be ready. Because I've done the work, I've stayed the course, and grown through the wait. And maybe, friends, the wait isn't a test to pass, but a season to prepare. So what if waiting wasn't wasted? What if the in-between is actually the becoming? What if where you are right now is exactly where you need to be? You're not being punished in the waiting, friends. Not at all. You're being positioned. You're being prepared. You're being protected until the time is right. You know, sometimes what feels like a no is actually just a not yet. And if we're honest with ourselves, that space in between the desire and the delivery, can feel like the most painful part of our journey. It's the space where doubt creeps in, where silence feels heavy, where you question whether you've been forgotten or if what you hope for is slipping away. I know I'm not alone. But what if that space is sacred, friends? What if the wait is not wasted, but it's working? What if the delay isn't to discourage you, but to develop you? Let that sit right there. What if it is to develop you? Because here's the truth, friends. Delays refine us. They deepen our patience, sharpen our clarity, and stretch our faith. They create a space to question what we thought we wanted and to better understand what we truly need. And in that waiting, something powerful always happens. We begin to see that not yet doesn't mean never. It means there's more forming in you and around you. It means something sacred is unfolding, piece by piece, so that when your moment arrives, you won't just be waiting for it. Friends, you'll be ready to receive it. The waiting season reveals the gaps. It builds the strength and prepares the character. It's in this sacred pause where you begin to understand that not yet isn't a rejection. It's a redirection towards something richer. You become more aligned with your true needs, more aware of what really matters, and more equipped to steward what's ahead. So when that door finally opens, you're ready to walk through it, not in desperation or fear of missing out, but with confidence, with clarity, and with peace, because you've done the work that can only happen in the waiting. Now let's take this a little deeper, because this isn't just about patience. It's about trust, and it's about alignment. I want to ask you to pause and really reflect. Just pause for a moment, friends, and get ready to reflect. Think about these questions. Where in your life have you been rushing the process? Where in life do you want it to happen right now? Weight loss, women having kids, being married, finding that career that's right for you. Where have you been rushing the process? Ask yourself, what would it look like to stop forcing and just allowing it to flow? Is it your healing journey? Are you in the space that's so painful that you just want it to be over? Sometimes we just have to allow it to flow. Where can you make peace with where you are, even if it doesn't match where you thought you'd be? You know, I've had a lot of these moments. The ones where I felt like I was doing everything right, but still not getting the results I hoped for. The ones where I wanted it to happen right now, this very moment. I want this to be over. I want to achieve this. I want to accomplish this. And in those moments, friends, I would push harder. I would try to make things happen by force. And let me tell you, it left me more exhausted than fulfilled. It did. It left me questioning myself and the reasons why. Because what I learned in that process, sometimes painfully, is that doors are heavy on purpose. Not all of them are meant to be opened, at least not by us, or not right now. Some doors are closed to protect us from something we're not ready for. And others are simply not part of the path that we're called to walk. And you know, I get it. That can be hard to accept. But with time, guess what? It brings clarity. Some doors are meant to open only when we are ready, not just when we want them to. And others, no matter how much we knock, are not meant to be opened at all. Because sometimes what we think we need isn't aligned with who we are becoming. And sometimes the very things we're praying for are still being shaped and refined, just on the other side of time, waiting for us to be ready to hold them well. So here's your invitation, friends, for this week. Trust the wait. Don't rush it. Trust the wait. Trust the slow seasons. The times where you're forced to just be still and focus on your peace. It's preparing us. Trust that what meant for you is not in competition with anyone else's journey. And it's not too late for you. It's just aligning. You are not behind, friends. You are on divine time. And when your door opens, you'll know it was worth the wait. Ooh. This week I want to invite you into a practice of intentional reflection, one that draws together everything we've explored: the surrender of control, the power of the pause, and the faith required to trust your own timing. At the start of each day, ask yourself, what can I release control of today? What thought, what worry, or deadline can I place down in order to breathe deeper, to live slower, and to trust more? And at the end of each day, ask yourself, where did I see signs of alignment? Look for the small nudges, the conversations, the timing of something that just felt right, even if it was subtle. The more you pay attention, the more you begin to see that your journey is not random. It's connected. Your journey is unfolding, friends. And here's my shameless plug. Keep a journal nearby. It helps. You can get them on creativelyshy.com. Keep her journal nearby. Or if journaling is not your thing, choose something that works best for you. A digital OneNote, a folder in your phone's notes app, even a voice memo work if that's how your thoughts flow. What matters most is that you create a space that feels sacred and consistent, somewhere where you can come back to hold the memory, to capture the moment, and to remind yourself of what's true. All right? Let's make this a ritual, a space where we don't measure success by how much we've crossed off of our to-do list, but by how present we are with ourselves. Because, friends, the more you notice alignment, the more you trust that it's always been there. You just needed stillness to finally see it, and something tangible to return to when you forget. That's the purpose of journaling. That's the purpose of capturing the moment, the words, the thoughts of where we are. And for those moments when doubt sneaks in, guess what? When the wait feels long or the door feels like it's just too heavy, those memories, those moments, those notes, those voice memos, are there so we can speak the truth back into ourselves. Powerful. Very powerful. It helps when we trust the timing, friends. As we close today, I want you to hold this with you. You don't need to rush what's divine. Not at all. Not at all, friends. You don't have to manipulate what's already promised. You don't have to perform for what is already yours. You don't have to cover you up with filters. Not the digital kind and not the emotional ones as well. You are not too much or not enough. Friends, guess what? You are becoming, and that is more than enough. Let your healing happen in layers, not all at once, not on anyone else's timeline. Let your growth happen in time, slowly, honestly, with the space needed to breathe and become. Let your life unfold in rhythm, not resistance, just like waves meeting the shore, or a flower blooming in its own season. Because, friends, when we trust the rhythm of our own becoming, we create room for peace. And it's in that peace that we find not just strength, but clarity, softness, and a sense of being exactly where we're meant to be. Next week, we'll build from this foundation and explore more by showing up in the middle, finding out what it means to live and move with intention while we're waiting, growing, and healing. It's been an awesome space, friend, today. Thank you for making space for me to help in challenging us all on our healing journey. This means so much to me. So much. Until then, stay open, stay grounded, stay healing, friends. And more than anything, let's continue to bloom. Talk to you next week.